Hey guys, this is Ryan. I wanted to make a quick beginner's guide to Diablo 3 real quick for the end game. There's lots of great guides online, but the issue is that everything's scattered all over the place. So I wanted to give you guys a quick overview of everything at once, so you know exactly what to do when you start playing 70, and you know what to kind of look forward to. First things first, uh, if you don't already know what Diablo 3, it's a dungeon crawler, and basically you're going to be you could say grinding a lot, trying to get the best legendaries in the game. The reason this game kind of stands out in that way, though, is that the combat is so addictive, I think, personally, in that there's lots of ways to play the game in different and weird ways that make it very fun. Um, I'm going to try to cover everything for what you need for endgame. I might forget a couple things, but you can always comment below and let me know. I'm also going to be posting links for some stuff that I think is very important. Just off the bat, I wanted to go over leveling, and while I do this, guys, I'm just going to just do a T6 Rift. I know I'm not like a pro or anything. I'm not only Paragon 293. I'm doing Torment 6, but I'm not fully optimized. It's just I don't play this game like super obsessively like some people. I'm very casual when I play. I play like, you know, twice a week, 3 times a week, and I don't play for usually too long. So just letting you know that right away. So first off, when you first start playing the game, you're going to be level 1, of course. And you're going to have to level through the game. First thing you're going to have to do if you're playing Reaper of Souls, which I'm assuming you are, is basically campaign, which is very straightforward. You just play through it, enjoy the storyline, and then after that you unlock Adventure Mode, which you will unlock before you hit level 70 most likely. It's pretty straightforward though. They go over pretty much everything for you. It's very user-friendly at first. Basically what you want to do is do bounties. Bounties give you Rift Keystones, and then with the Keystones, you do Rifts. Rifts are basically what I'm doing right now. You can do them at lots of different difficulties, and they basically have a higher chance for legendaries is what you're trying to get once you hit the end game. So it's very important that you play these. Let's see here. Greater Rifts also have been included recently in patch 2.1. I'm playing patch 2.1.2, which I'll go over soon enough, what the new additions are and stuff like that. Got a legendary next. Okay. So basically, once you start doing greater rifts, which I think are really, really important to the beginning of endgame, the reason why is because they have very high chances for legendaries compared to regular rifts. I mean, generally they're about the same, but there's kind of a boost in the lower difficulties of greater rifts, I feel like, for legendaries, because the Rift Guardian basically collects all the loot and you get it at the end for greater rifts. And I feel like you get a lot more legendaries per hour if you start out doing those as much as you can until you hit like T6. Then you probably want to do regular rifts, or maybe just really, really high greater rifts. So basically every time you do a regular rift, and you're going to see it at the end of this because I'm doing a T6 one, I'm guaranteed a greater rift keystone, which I can use to do a greater rift, which are very self-explanatory also. If you're on a lower difficulty though, this is not a guaranteed drop, so just keep that in mind. You got to do a couple rifts before you get a greater rift keystone. So just keep that in mind. So first thing I wanted to go over for endgame would be DiabloFans.com. This is the most amazing resource of all time to get yourself rolling on what you want to do for a character, what build you want to run, what weapons and gear and stuff you want to get. So basically, go to DiabloFans.com. There's a section for builds. Choose a character, obviously, that you want to do. Filter it, and you can filter it by like most popular to highly rated and all that kind of stuff. And start checking them out. See what build looks interesting to you. Hopefully you want to grab one that plays T6. And then you want to start collecting gear. Gear is, I mean, generally entirely random in this game, except for a couple pieces that you can get doing specific things. But generally all of it is just randomly dropped, so you just play the game and you get more pieces of gear, and you try not to salvage the stuff that you really want. So yeah, go to Diablo Fans, and you might even want to do this before you even make a character, is see what builds you like to see what kind of character you want to build. Because you might, you know, start with a Witch Doctor and decide, holy crap, I want to do Crusader because I can explode stuff like I'm doing right now, which is pretty fun. So legendaries are pretty straightforward. There's 2 different types. There's a standard legendary and there's a set legendary, okay? I'll show you here. So, for instance, this one I just got is a standard. This one is a set. Green is set. Orange is standard. Set legendaries obviously go together with other set legendaries to have a very large bonus. Endgame is very dependent on that for the most part. Every build you'll ever find usually uses some sort of set or multi-sets to give you a distinct advantage. And then once you have a set, you fill out the rest of the areas with regular legendaries with very specific abilities. So for instance, I'll go over my build real quick and why it's so powerful. Basically, you want to have synergy between all your legendaries. So I'll just go over it quick because it's kind of complicated. I just want to make it simple. But for instance, all 5 of these right here give you, for the 2 set, 500 strength. For the 4 set, reduce the cost of all abilities by 50% while Akarat's champion is active. And the 6 set, reduce the cooldown of Akarat's champion. This is Akarat's champion right here. It generally has a very long cooldown. But now since that's halved, I can use it more often. And then while it's active, I can use all my abilities more often because they're very expensive. And it's very nice. And then on top of that, I rolled like ridiculous amounts of cooldown reduction, which I still haven't maxed out yet. Where are you? 53.37%. You want 56 normally. Which you can see I rolled on that and rolled on that. And basically, once I get a lot of cooldown reduction, I can actually keep popping this and keep it up forever. So I get that buff eternally, which is very nice because you do extra damage, you get more defense while you're in this mode. Then what makes me cause all these explosions and chain reactions and such, basically this ability right here, instantly releases a massive explosion. Generally, it has a cooldown of 15 seconds. You notice that it does not have a cooldown of 15 seconds because this shield right here. You can see there's orange text near the bottom that says Condemn has no cooldown but instead costs 40 Wrath. So now I'm just spending Wrath to use this ability, and since I have Akarat's champion, it barely costs any. I'm generally gaining more than I'm losing when I'm actually fighting mobs. Then the Blade of Prophecy, 2 condemned enemies also trigger Condemn's explosions. So every time I hit enemies, they chain reaction. It's not like an infinite chain reaction, but it's enough to where it does ridiculous amounts of damage. And then you can see I only have 5 sets, but yet I have a 6 set bonus. That's because of this legendary right here, which reduces the number of items needed for set bonuses by 1. That's very important, so I can actually have other pieces of gear in different slots that I want. So this gives me a lot of cooldown reduction. And then there's other stuff. Unity is really important too. But basically I'm trying to show you how synergy works between all your gear and how eventually that creates your build and makes you very powerful in T6. Other thing I wanted to go over is ancient legendaries real quick. I'll do that just while I'll just check these out real quick. Every time you get a legendary and you decide to show it off, there's a chance for it to be a ancient legendary. I don't have any equipped on this character right now, just because I haven't found any good ones yet. Ancient legendaries are just regular legendaries with ancient on them and golden borders around the outlines. I actually have some in my chest. Oh crap, where did I put it? There we go. So that is an ancient legendary, golden borders. It just has higher rolls, if you can see that. Everything just rolls higher generally, except for percentage-based stuff. It's really nice. It's just a little boost. I don't recommend trying to min-max everything and trying to get all ancient legendaries because it's a very low chance. But it's fun to get a boost every once in a while. Other than that, ancient legendary is pretty straightforward. I want to give you a quick overview of seasons. Because these are going on all the time, and it's good to take advantage of them, especially if you're just starting, because you can take advantage of them without any sort of loss. Season 2 is starting. Right now there is no Season 1, it just ended. Season 2 is starting in a couple of days, I think this upcoming Friday. And basically what a season is they give you, there's basically new legendaries in the loot pool when you play. And there's a couple other just basic advantages, but usually if you have a regular character and a seasonal character, they're completely separate. So you have to start all over on a seasonal character. You can't share anything in your chest or anything like that, which is usually kind of fun to start over every once in a while. But what's nice about not having a character right now is that you can just start seasonal and not worry about it. When a season ends, your character becomes non-seasonal. All your loot in your chest becomes non-seasonal and goes to all your characters, and then the next season will start. And you can start all over again, and then when that's over, that loot will go back to your normal loot. So it's just an interesting little process. It's fun to do. A lot of people are really into it. I like it. I think it's a lot of fun. But that's a good thing to know about when you first start. You probably just want to, right off the bat, make a seasonal character. I just want to go over roles and enchantments real quick. When you're actually going for your build, let's just... I'm confused. All right. Enchanting. Okay, so this is really important. And you're going to learn a little bit about this, but basically when a legendary drops... Not only do you want that specific legendary, but you want it to roll nicely. So for instance, here's my Gauntlet of Atkins, which is a best in slot for my build. Okay, so this is the one that I want. It has Strength, Vit, Crit Chance, Cooldown Reduction. This isn't perfect. I actually would prefer to have the Vit to be crit damage, but you can only reroll one thing on here. So you can see that I actually rerolled one thing to get the cooldown reduction. So I can't reroll it. I can keep rerolling that one thing, but I can never change anything else on there. So this is really important for getting all the things that you want on piece of gear, and usually Diablo fans has a nice little overview of like what roles you want on things. So for instance, I just got this guy right here. So if I get rid of anything on here, I can get the cooldown reduction. Let's see here, but my crit chance will still be too low. So this guy's not really worth it, I don't think. Probably just gonna get rid of him because it's just not worth it. And then these guys are a piece of shit. So that's just, I just wanted to just let you know that that's a thing, and you should be ready to take advantage of it. And it takes, just try not to salvage stuff that's really awesome. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. And learn how to roll stuff. It's not that hard. And when you are going on Diablo fans, it's not. They pretty much go over the whole thing with you. Real quick, I just want to talk about money. That's going to be your major issue when you first hit end game, basically, when you hit 70. When you're playing 70, you're going to realize when you start doing re-enchanting things and stuff like that, that it's freaking expensive and you have no money, so you have to kind of collect what you can. You can just keep playing the game and getting money generally. You get it pretty quick, but you're never going to have enough until you start farming goblins and stuff like that. There is something called the Goblin Portal or the Vault. If you kill a goblin, there's a 2% chance he opens a portal to his realm, and then there's just shit tons of gold there, and it's really nice. For instance, I got 180 million right now, which is really nice because I'm not really running out anytime soon. I just happened to play with my wife for a bit, and we had like 3 of them in a row, so got kind of lucky there. And you can look up guides. So I'm not going to do any guides on that, but you can look up guides specifically. There's some really good ones. Shinobi does a really nice one of how to get that. But yeah, it's a really good thing to start doing too, because you're going to be out of money quick when you first hit 70. So, other than that though, I don't really have much to talk about. Other than that, I just wanted to explain difficulties real quick. And here's a Keystone of Trials that I found there. Guaranteed drop when you're playing T6.
I need to go back.
Basically, you want to try to start on T1 as soon as you get to 70. So try to look up some non-gear dependent builds that you can run that'll be able to push you through Torment 1. And then as you start leveling, or not leveling, but as you start getting gear for your build, you're going to realize that you're getting closer and closer to higher difficulties. You basically want to be on the highest difficulty that's efficient for you, that you can like not die in, and that you're running pretty frequently in, that you're just going really fast. And then higher torment levels obviously will drop actually more legendaries, and then you combine that with the rift gain of legendaries that you get, and it's pretty awesome. So you just want to keep going higher and higher, and then once you hit T6, you're going to have a lot of legendaries drop all the time. For instance, I got 3 in that rift, which is pretty good. With this too, I don't really want it, but I'm just going to check it anyway. Yeah, no. Anyway, so it's pretty straightforward. And you're going to learn a lot of little nuances about the game, but good luck. I wanted to just help you guys out a little bit so you enjoy the game a little bit more. And let me know if you got any other questions in the comments. I know this is kind of a little long, and I probably skipped over a few things, but I'd love to know what you guys are thinking. Let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff. This is the only thing I'm making for now, but if you get enough subscribers that are interested, I'll start making some more videos. Just holler at me in the comments if you have a specific thing you want me to go over. Alright, awesome. You guys have a good day.